Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Mission Movie Reviews, Real Talk. I'm Barry Gaines.
Jay Greene.
And we here to give you the lowdown on the new film Crime 101, starring Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, directed by someone named Barry Layton that we haven't really heard of before. Looked them up, did a lot of TV. And we're just going to give you our honest opinion on this film. I'll kick it off. I went into the film not expecting much. I just wanted to see what's up. I liked all the actors. It looked really tight. The action looked pretty solid. I went into it. I was looking at it, and the first thing that came to me, man, I thought it was like a real light Heat mixed with a little bit of Thomas Crown Affair, like it was trying to kind of skate like both sides a little bit. And at the same time, one thing that hit me hard right away before getting into the whole, like, what's the story about, because we don't want to give anything away because this is a non-spoiler review, is that to me, the everything felt a little too safe for me. It looked as if it was just Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, and maybe say another actor, they probably could have went a little further, be a little grittier, a little darker with things, because the movie does give you like a feel like this can get a little dark if it really wants to. And I felt it pulled back a little bit because of Chris Hemsworth, because it looks like Marvel says, listen, you kill nobody, you punch nobody. Unless it's with Marvel, all right? Because we already saw Chris Hemsworth get dark in Marvel when he cut off Thanos' head. So you know he can get dark, you know what I mean? This one was like, no, not for you.
Nothing for you.
Nothing for you unless you're a Marvel. So you stay nice and tight, stay in that car and be nice and smile, you know, and just rob a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. But that's my quick review with Crime 101. Justin, Jay, what do you think about the movie, man?
All right, good. So this is why I love having a conversation, because it always makes me think different, right? So number one, I did enjoy this movie. I thought it was like, I said in my review, kind of like a Heat and a Collateral. I've never seen the Thomas Crown Affair, so I got to check that one out. But Heat and Collateral in regards to a little bit of a love interest, a will they, won't they type of thing. How's it going to end? You got the person who's ultra committed to the task at hand. What are they willing to do? Who are they willing to potentially leave behind in order to do it? Things like this. So I feel like the action that was in the movie, the acting from the leads, I thought was great. The direction, all that, I thought was pretty dope. I thought the Barry Keoghan was super menacing and annoying to me. Like, I really felt his irritating presence.
I agree.
So I enjoy watching it, and if I could live a little bit more in that world, get a little bit more deep into it and all that sort of stuff, then I would. So I liked it. I don't think there was anything like wrong with it. But I will say, to your points, I think that I could see some type of contract negotiation where it's like, all right, you can't do this, you can't do that for Chris Hemsworth because he's Disney proper, right? However, this is not a spoiler, but he is a loner, he is a lone wolf, and there's a scene when you can see he gets like escort service type swag. So you're riding that line. They don't show anything, but you're riding that line. So his character did have a lot of, or not, I'm not gonna say a lot, but I felt like his character did have layers to him where you're kind of wondering, because he's alluding to this like horrible backstory that seemed maybe reminiscent of the movie Four Brothers, where he was maybe adopted or something like that, and he had like 4 other technical siblings, and some ish really went down, but we don't really get too much of that. We get like just him mentioning it, that's about it. So we don't, I would like to maybe see more development to understand why he is the way he is here. Because in the movie, he's confident, he's demanding, but he's also reserved, timid, and like shy around girls. And it's Chris Hemsworth. Let's be real. He's an attractive dude. Probably don't have to have much game. He walks up to you and says, "So what's good?" And y'all gonna be like, "Okay," you know what I mean? And that's pretty much what happens in the movie. That's pretty much what happens, right? So it would have been nice to kind of see a little bit more of like, why is he that way? And then, like I said, I don't really feel like there's like too many like loophole or like plot holes that I didn't care for, but there's stuff to Halle Berry's character, there's stuff to Mark Ruffalo's character that if we got maybe a bit more development it could have risen up to that Heat standard. Because in Heat, they developed the characters very well on pretty much all sides. You kind of see like all aspects of them. So when the heat is on, no pun intended, you really understand why it's jumping off the way it's jumping off, why they're making moves the way they're making moves. And when they just throw their hands up and like, all right, forget it. You know what I mean? So I did enjoy it, but I do think that it had a lot of opportunity to expand more in certain directions.
No, I agree. I think it's in a way, like I said, this one I didn't like. I know you liked. I didn't like as much. But one thing that I do enjoy in this movie that I say, I have to give much props to is number one, like you was mentioning Chris Hemsworth's character, right? You want a little more development. You want to see what made him the way he is. But one thing I really liked with his character was, or what Chris Hemsworth did with his character, that you felt as if he was very reserved. Like you said, he was awkward around women, but he was almost awkward just around life. If it didn't have to do with his work, he was very off kilter. And you never seen Chris Hemsworth ever play a role like that, where he was trying not to say much, like he didn't know how to express himself. I did love that to show the depth, because everyone knows he can do a lot of things. Of course, action, he can do comedy, but something like this where a lot of his acting came within his eyes and his body movements more than his narrative. And I really, really like that a lot. And I'm like, that's something that people need to check out. And there is one thing, without spoiling the movie, is that there is a character in there, and I did like what the director did with this, if people caught this, was there's a character that actually had it developed a little bit, the character developed a little bit like a crescendo, meaning that he started off looking real bad. And then when confidence came back and he had more of a purpose and he felt that he had to get something done, you see the change in him, where you saw the suit, the way he wore the suit is different. He started to shave. There was a difference, a very subtle difference, and you saw, and I caught that, and I love that they did that in this movie. So, not to spoil it, but if you guys look out for that if you notice it. Otherwise, I think on my part, I felt that Crime 101 could have been much more. I think there were one character that didn't have to be in there. They kind of threw it in there because it felt like, hey, that's a Hollywood thing. That's a storyline thing. You have to throw it in there. But there was no consequence. And the action was okay. It was pretty good. Like the action moments. Barry to me was, I love the fact that he has my same name. But he was really, really, I liked it. I liked what he did. I felt he can get darker. And they pulled back a little bit. I just felt it was a little too safe. Like when people really wanted to go a little farther, maybe the actors wanted to go a little more. They were like, no, let's just ease back a little bit now. We got Chris in the house. Ease up a little bit, And what he did, what Barry did was pretty good. So all in all, I think the movie is okay. It was all right. I think that if you do decide to see it, everybody, go to the theater and see it in the cinema. You can get a really good aspect of what Jay and I are talking about. What you say, Jay?
Yeah, I would definitely say that, again, for me, I think it hit. It was very entertaining for me. I enjoyed it all. But like Barry's saying, they could have built a little bit more into it. I mean, it probably would have made it too long, maybe. I don't know.
Right, yeah,
but,
right.
But other than that, yeah, I think it was great. I think it is worthy of a trip to the cinema. But at the same time, it's worthy because it's a good enough movie to go see and you'll enjoy it, from my perspective for sure. But it also tells the studios we want more movies like this. So if we want to get closer and closer and closer to the potential of a Thomas Crown Affair, a Heat, a Collateral, something like that, where it's very adult, takes its time, and it really layers the characters out, you got to go support films in this genre in general, right? And this is an Amazon movie, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it is. MGM.
Yeah. So it's an Amazon movie. So remember, I gave much praise to Wrecking Crew that just came out, and I think it's getting like good praise as well. And a lot of people feel like that movie should have been in theaters, but it wasn't. Right. Whereas this movie was in theaters, but maybe it missed the mark on certain things. So check this one out in theaters. We'll get more like it. Let Amazon know we're feeling it. You know what I mean? That's what I say. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you. You know what? Like you just to kind of just ride what you're saying. I think that they should have switched it. Excuse me, hit the mic. I think Crime 101 should have been on Amazon, and I think The Wrecking Crew should have been in the theaters.
I can see that. I can see
You know,
that. Fair.
I can see that. You know what I mean? But all in all, if you want a movie that you just want to kind of lay back, watch, good acting, and it's a slow burn a little bit. So just to let you know, this is not like you watching a Michael Bay film. It's a slow burn, but there's a lot of depth in there, and people did their work. So all in all, it's all right, guys. From my side, I say it's okay. And then Justin, he says, go see it. Either way, go see it for yourself. You tell us what you think. All right?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So this is another edition of Mission Movie Review, Real Talk, you know what I mean? And we hope to see you guys on the next video, man. All right, peace.
Peace.